Welcome guys to Tulsa Talk Thursdays. We try to do this every single Thursday. I'm your host, Jay Morrison, CEO, founder, and fund manager of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. I say those three specific titles and designations because I earned each one. CEO, which is the chief executive officer, the visionary and leader of an organization. And I am the leader and the visionary of this particular organization. I'm also the founder, the person that thought of, who initiated, who conceptualized this idea for America's first 100% Black-owned real estate crowdfunding history, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, which now has nearly 12,500 partners I'm so proud of, and an amazing staff and team and support system, starting with my wife, Mrs. Ernestine Morrison, and Queen Janetta Pay, and King Richard, and King Gene and King Hop behind the cameras, and Queen Lashida over there, and Queen Denisha, and just so many others who support our ecosystem and this fund and this legendary movement. And again, all the 12,500 partners, King Chris and Queen Yvonne of Reclaim Karma, our project management development partners, our other partners on the ground in different markets. King Tosin, who was a pivotal part of helping to spark this idea as well and develop it. And just, again, so many others. I don't want to hopefully miss anyone. Down to King Mott, who's in the other room, who's my assistant and who does so much, and King Josh and everyone else, right? So it's a big team. Queen Jasmine, Queen Tamara, who moderate these calls and assist and support and help with social media and customer service. Queen Dania, Queen Faith, Queen Amari, Queen Brandy, right? This is a whole staff and team that helps support this movement, and I just want to shout everyone out as they deserve their designations, and all you who are partners and investors with us deserve your designations. You earned it. We're super excited just to post earlier today our Legacy Center, the Black House, being developed while many of us are working. I don't know if you work 9 to 5. I personally work like 7 to 12, and that's not noon, that's like midnight. But for those who are working, taking care of family, traveling, while you're working, your partnership dollars are working. We have 3 developments going on simultaneously, a $500,000 residential flip, nearly an $800,000 upon completion, 14-unit development in Louisiana, a 30,000 square foot office building development and renovation happening here right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And there's still $300 million of deals in underwriting that we are considering participating in, depending on the participation, the agreements, the terms, if found agreeable with our different development partners throughout the country. And we're still always courting, seeking, reviewing applications, processing deals, looking to partner with others, looking to be the best capital partner we can be for the urban community to effectively execute urban redevelopment, right? That's our goal, is to be the best capital partners to help redevelop the urban community. And tonight's title and topic of Tulsa Talk Thursday is how we, the urban community, can compete with the wealthy, with the elite, with the upper class. And no matter how much success I have, I still represent and resonate with and connect with and support and serve the urban community from which I came. And so I earned the title CEO, I earned the title founder, and I also earned the title fund manager. A PhD, nor a bachelor's degree or master's degree, nor even an associate's degree, I have none of those degrees, made me or allowed me to earn this title as fund manager of a SEC regulated Reg A Tier 2 real estate crowd fund, again, historic fund of its kind. That didn't earn me the title as fund manager or CEO or founder. No business school, no trade school also earned me that right, nor an inheritance earned me that right, or any kind of social privilege earned me that right. But the vision and the calling that I got to empower my community, to take care of God's people back in 2012, and my obedience to that vision to figure out how can I serve my community, how can I serve underserved and disenfranchised communities and people throughout the world? How can I offer and lend my gifts to those people? How can I be an innovator? How can I walk on faith and not by sight when things seem impossible, still make them possible? How can I be solution-oriented and use my critical thinking skills and my perseverance and resilience, brilliance and intelligence, strategic thinking skills, all the way down to charisma, energy, leadership qualities, and all those things? How can I not just contribute those to my last name and my success and my direct legacy, but how can I contribute those to the growth and the health, the repair and service of my community, and the economic stimulation and the economic unification and the economic advancement of the disenfranchised? And so I lent my gifts and my talents and my resources, my energy, my dollars, my staff, my team. There's a lot of things I could have been doing the last 4 or 5 years, but I really was committed to this vision even when no one else seen it. I mean, at one point it was just me with this vision. You know, before any 12,500 partners, before any executive team, before any assistants, before anything, it was just a vision I had, and I believed in it. Before any regulation was passed, before any approval from the SEC, before any audits, before any of that. And all that being said is that all that, plus my 14 years in this business, comprehensively in this business, learning the mortgage and private lending and finance portion of real estate business and business in general, my effective 25 years of business experience from 15 years old to now, or near 25 years to 38 years old of business experience and exposure, my life at the former university, my time as a realtor and celebrity realtor and 8-figure home lister and multi-million-dollar home lister and real estate expert and author, and all these things all contributed to and what has allowed me to earn that title, fund manager, which is not just about control, power, management, being a boss. It's really about being a fiduciary, which is a responsible party to others. It's about being a responsible underwriter, meaning that all the deals that come through our fund that we participate in, all these urban development or non-urban but still benefit the urban community from income, or any of the capital we deploy, I sign off on. My name is on it and my reputation is on it. I take on all the reputational risk that comes with managing a fund that has so much exposure, that is so innovative, that is so new. And, again, I take on those responsibilities. I take the good with the bad. I have the fiduciary responsibility to the public to serve them best, put their interest before my interest, and to put our fund partners' interest before my interest. And I stand on integrity. I live by integrity, and I've earned that right to be the fund manager because of my work and my walk. And I'm super proud for what we've accomplished as a group and organization. And I think that there's so much work that still could be done. In front of me, I'm just glancing down, is a Simply Buckhead magazine, right? So it's, some Buckhead folks on the magazine, and we shout out to the owner. We know her well. She's a family friend of this magazine. And just recently, I'm not even sure what page it is. I got to find it. But, Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia is one of the most popular sections of Atlanta. It's one of the most wealthy sections. I think it is the most wealthy section of Atlanta, and probably one of the most prominent sections in Georgia as a whole. And I want to show something pretty cool if I can find it. That's a nice house, geez. Let's see if I can find it, guys. Give us something to smile about today. Oh, there we go. So our legacy scoreboard is in the magazine. This is page 39 of Buckhead Magazine, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund Legacy Scoreboard, where, everyone has an option to get ownership in TREF starting at $500, and we're just showing, our numbers versus the numbers of other financial institutions, investment vehicles, or saving vehicles, etc. But just cool for us to, continue to make our mark in the world. So anyway, back to tonight's title. when we think about the wealthy and the elite, and wealth is typically described as having an abundance of assets. That's businesses, that's stocks, that's cash, that's gold, commodities, real estate, land, right? Having an abundance of assets that supersede your liabilities and your debts. And so there are folks, that are wealthy, that are in that position. And there's people that are generationally in that position. Family after family member, generation after generation are passing down wealth and these assets. And that's typically the top 10%. I mean, as we talk about, 10% of Americans own 88% of the real estate, as well as other wealth. And so I think about the urban community, disenfranchised communities, minority communities, and the urban community also sometimes consists of the quote-unquote majority community here in America, or Caucasians, European Americans. And no matter what color you are, race you are, there's disenfranchisement everywhere, and there's underexposure and underservedness, I'm using quotes, everywhere. And there's an opportunity, if we can get on the same page, for us to be able to compete and control our own destiny. And that's what I love and I live by, is I'm just a problem solver at heart, because I truly believe, as I was taught when I was 19 years old, in a 1-minute lesson, walking down prison stairs at a work release facility in Harlem, New York, across from Central Park. I was leaving a year sentence in prison. And as I was walking down the stairs with my white backpack over my shoulder, literally going to the train station, this is my first day, completely out of jail, outside of some work release furloughs, but say my first day, from under the authority, right, the system. And as I'm walking down the stairs, an older gentleman, what we call the OG, he gave me a piece of paper, right, like a little Chinese fortune cookie piece of paper, and it said, "There's no such thing as problems. There's only lack of solutions." And I know this sounds like a movie, but I literally read it the whole way home. Like, I got my bag and I'm reading this paper. Then I'm on the train, right? I'm taking New Jersey Transit from some New York Penn Station to New Jersey, where I'm from, leaving my prison sentence in New York, where I was incarcerated, cutting down trees for 13 cents a day, amongst other things that happened during that stint. But I'm on the train and I'm reading this paper, and I'm like, trying to dissect it as a 19-year-old. Like, what do you mean there's no such thing as problems, lack of solutions? So I'm trying to debunk it, right? Like, no, there are these kind of problems. What about these kind of problems? And it really boiled down to, essentially, and there may be an exception to the rule, but essentially that there is an outcome, there is a solution, there is opportunity, there is a way to resolve or minimize anything that we see as a problem. And I just really embodied that and adapted it at 19 years old, and I live by it. And so when I see social oppression, political oppression, social degradation, economic exploitation, when people are being exploited economically, when the underserved community is being told to blow money fast, spend it like they're last, when an underserved community is, who people who are poor, disenfranchised, don't have legacy, don't have wealth, are being told by media who's owned by the wealthy, who's being told by corporations that are owned and controlled by the wealthy, who's being told by even the government and our school systems that, hey, go buy gifts for this holiday, go buy gifts for Valentine's Day, go buy gifts for Christmas, Hanukkah, etc. Go buy gifts, regardless of what your financial state is. Don't worry about that. Like, 'tis the season. And when I see that we are being duped in this kind of way, because wealthy people make financially responsible and astute and informed decisions. They make less financially emotional decisions. But, that's just one, again, the cultural trap, right, of telling us that. Then there's the corporate trap of them saying, hey, just get a 9-to-5 job. Don't worry about any other kind of assets. Thank you, Queen. Don't worry about any other kind of assets. Just go to school, get good grades, and just get a good job. Or you know what, better yet, go to school, get good grades, go to college, rack up some student loan debt, and get a better job. Even get a good government job. And that's gonna be safe and reliable, but tell that to the 800,000 plus government workers right now. And, that's the corporate trap. That tells you that there's stability in just corporate America. Now, there's nothing wrong with a job, but they don't teach us the financial astuteness to pair that job with other investment vehicles, other opportunities, and don't explain to us the opportunity cost of our money. So, when you look at this legacy scoreboard, it's kind of like what that is. What I said, page 190? I think I said 150, 190?
39.
Was it 139? Oh, was it 39 by itself?
39?
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of another article we got. Yeah, 39, my bad. We do have an article in another magazine on Delta Sky on page 130 something. But for those who are watching this, we look at the scoreboard, forget Tulsa Real Estate Fund right now, just for a second, then remember us again. But when you look at like your 401k or your savings account, like, what are you making in your savings account? What are you making in your 401k and your IRA? What are you making in your pension account? What are you making in your checking account? I asked my banker, and ask your banker, the money I have in my checking account, I got $3,000 in there, right? I got $9,000, I got $13,000, I got $300, whatever it is. How much interest am I making on that money as it sits there? And they're likely going to tell you something similar to 0.001%. And some of you have $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 sitting in a checking account. That's getting you 0.001%. And you never thought to bother and bug and scrutinize your banker over why are they lending out your money to other folks for mortgages, for business loans, for car loans, for student loans and credit lines, home equity loans, etc., CDs, treasury bonds, sweep accounts, right? Overnight accounts. Why are they lending out your money at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and better percent, and only giving you back 0.001? And so we're just not taught about to really see the opportunity cost of our money, and this all boils down to the corporate trap that just tells us to work and don't worry about that. Just match your 401k or just save up, and don't go buy a 4-unit apartment. Don't diversify into real estate. Don't go start a business. Just work. And that's a false education. And then there's those who got caught up in the college trap where they just told you, go to college, get the student loan debt, defer your interest, man, enjoy life, meet new friends and party. Don't even focus on what career you're gonna have, what passion you're gonna have. Just take some elective, take some courses. And when you come out, man, it's gonna be some jobs. You're gonna be competing. It's gonna be an opportunity. But, you're going to likely leave out of college and not even knowing how to start a business or how to run an effective business or how to own real estate, how to buy the roof over your head and even own your first home, how to understand a FICO score, how to understand your utilization ratio, how to understand how secure credit cards work, how to understand life skills, and really how to even find your purpose in life and do what it is you truly were called to do and not just a career or a skill. And then what happens when you can't find a job and a career that you want through this college trap? Can you create opportunities for yourself or for your own, right? So you get stuck in that. And then there's those of us who got caught in the corner trap or the correctional trap, which I just kind of explained to you, was where I was headed up until 25 years old, where I changed my life around. So all that to be said is, when we look at this exploitation economically, and we even look at police brutality in the prison reform system, and we look at just all the things that we see on social media and the hashtags and legitimate complaints of human rights violations, civil rights violations, when we look at gentrification in the urban community and how, gentrification's at an all-time high in every city And if you don't know what gentrification is, it's where members of a community are bought out or forced out by public-private partnerships who then take a depressed community and revitalize it and upgrade it, but never offer those benefits and that new community upgrade back to the original community members, where new members are brought into the community, where new constituents, new homeowners, new business owners, and the original members are kicked out, right? And it's done intentionally to upgrade these communities. And the home values and the business values and the economic values and the school systems, and it's done through private and public partnerships between, sometimes the government and developers and organizations and nonprofits. And there's tax credits and tax incentives. Now there's opportunity zones, which is a way for even wealthier people to be able to invest into these communities and now get a big old tax discount and a capital gains break after 10 years, 100% tax-free if you invest into an opportunity zone through an qualified opportunity zone fund. So there's all these things and strategies and tools out there for the wealthy that we get beat up on as the urban community. And all I've been trying to do, because I am knowledgeable, man. I am efficient. I am proficient. I am entrenched in business and in real estate and in mortgage and in finance. Like I have been blessed with the gift, and I just want to lead or help lead, or at least give some balance to the scales for the urban community, which is why we created this fund where you can start having ownership in real estate, ownership in our company, ownership in legacy, starting at $500 investment. And that's a partnership in equity and ownership that receives an 8% preferred return on our real estate assets, plus 50% of the profit that these assets may produce from rental income, leases, and the appreciation as these assets go up in value over time. And I'm not saying that it's just Tulsa Fund that's the answer for the urban community, but it is the Tulsa model that is the answer, right? And so we happen to create the model, and we have this branded fund. But my point is, this fund that's named after the Black Wall Street, the legendary Tulsa, Oklahoma community. That's why we call it Tulsa, not because we are in Tulsa. We do have our eyes on some investments in Tulsa, but that's not why. But what I want to say is that many of us believe that group economics, cooperative economics, pulling our resources together, leveraging smaller investments, crowdsourcing is called, is a way for us to have power. But it doesn't work if we don't wake up and leverage the tools and resources and the vehicles and instruments that we have. And so when I titled this, How the Urban Community Competes with the Wealthy, our individual resources and assets, our individual capital and cash is just not enough. I mean, these folks they can literally go out and build $30 million, $40 million buildings at a 2% cap rate and just wait 9, 10, 12, 15 years for appreciation, all because they're wise enough and patient enough to know that, yeah, I'm at a small cap rate or ROI or investment rate right now, but I bought this building or built this building for $30 million, but in 15 years, I'm gonna be able to sell it for $66 million. And us in the urban community, we could raise that same $30 million just by 30,000 of us putting up $1,000. But would the 30,000 of us be patient enough to wait 15 years to make potentially 30 million? Maybe we don't. We only make 3 million. But that 3 million on 30 million is a 10% ROI on the investment, and annualized, I don't know what that is, but my whole point is that it's better than 0.001 or what you would have did with the $1,000 spending it on a vacation or on Valentine's Day or a birthday. It's like we just don't think right. Like, we'll complain and scrutinize, and I'm not talking about Tulsa. I'm talking about you investing anywhere. We complain and we scrutinize a $1,000 investment, a $10,000 investment into something that will be long-term, could be beneficial for us, and we complain about how the wealthy has all this power and they box us out and have all this opportunity and they own everything and they gentrify everything, but we're not willing to do what the wealthy do. So it's like, if you're mad at me because I'm slam dunking the ball and I'm ripped and I got muscles and I got six pack and I got abs, but you're mad at me, but you continue to eat Twinkies and won't go to the gym. Why would you expect my kind of results if you don't put in my kind of work? So why would the urban community, the blighted community, the underserved community stop saying they oppressed us, they held us down? Like, that's how the system was designed to do. It was designed like that. So that's a given. Now what? So how do we bring ourselves up? If they're holding us down, we can't depend on they to bring us up. So either you're going to stay down and complain about being down and that's their fault, or you're going to bring yourself up. And the only way to bring yourself up, the easiest thing to do is study what the people who are up are doing. The people that control the wealth, control the real estate, who gentrify our neighborhoods, who have the power, what are they doing and willing to do that you and I are not willing to do? It's really simple. So if I talk about our road to 50 million, right? That's our goal, is by the end of this fund, which I'm going to announce soon when the end of this fund is going to close out. We're going to close this first fund out. But by the end of this fund, we should be at our $50 million max, which is simply 50,000 people partnering with $1,000, or 100,000 people partnering with $500,000, or 5,000 people partnering with $10,000. That fast, 50 million. But we'll complain about, oh, them folks over there, that community over there, oh man, that community, oh, that community. We the most that community, oh, the Asians do this, the Jewish do that, the white community, oh man, even the Indians, oh, the Koreans come from overseas and do that. But we have the model right here, but we won't do it. So stop talking about what others are doing when you're not willing to do what they do. You're just an observer, you're a spectator, you're a fan. I'm a baller. I want to get out on the court and go bust somebody. I don't want to sit back and observe how well they're playing in their community. When we could do the same thing, 5,000 of us could put up $10,000. I invested $10,000 in the Tulsa Fund, and I managed the fund. Not to mention what I invested to create the fund. I'm talking about I invested into the actual fund, let alone the management group and the whole staff and infrastructure and marketing around the fund. But I'm saying, imagine if just 5,000 of us did that, which is the same if 50,000 of us put up 10,000, we now have 500 million. If 500,000 of us put up 10,000, we now have $5 billion. It's just numbers. And we're spending nearly 1.3 trillion a year on consumerism. So my point is, the only way that we truly are going to ever compete with the wealthy is knowing what they know, doing what they do, moving how they move with an integrity. But we don't have to duplicate or remake any wheels. The formula's already out there. Folks are being financially responsible. They're keeping household budgets. They're educating themselves on the RBCs, real estate, business, and credit. So they are versed in how credit works. They are versed in how business and corporate veil structure and operations and systems and negotiations and valuations and financial controls and all process and procedure and personnel and onboarding and hiring and marketing. They're versed in how those things work, and they're versed in real estate, how acquisitions work, development works, home ownership works, flipping works, landlording works, project management works, property management works, capital depreciation works, principal pay down works, appreciation, equity, home equity lines, leverage, refinances, how all that works. That's what the wealthy are doing. They're being financially responsible. They're educating themselves either internally or externally on how the wealth wheel works. They're leveraging insurance, annuities, financial markets, and other investment vehicles, and they're constantly figuring out, how can I make my current income and money make more money for me? And how can I create residual income, passive income, that makes money for me that I don't have to work for? While you all were sleeping today, we had a 30,000 square foot building being renovated. We had a $500,000 single family middle class home being renovated. We had a 14 unit apartment complex being renovated. While you're working, your money's working for you. Residual income, passive income. And then we're offering high level wealth education and strategy through our sister company, the Jay-Morrison Academy. But my whole point is that that's why I created the school, the fund, the credit repair service, business funding through easy funding. Everything, if you watch me create within this movement, is all one big wheel of economic empowerment. So we don't have to say, well, where do I go? Where's the resource? Oh, that sounds good, but where do I go? So I can say, you know what? I'm not going to tell you where to go, or I'm not going to create where to go. I'm going to just say you should do it. I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I'm going to tell you what you should do and go find out where to do it. No, I'm an innovator. I'm a leader. I'm a servant. So I'm not going to tell you that you need to do X, Y, and Z, and I have the capacity to help you get to X, Y, and Z, or help find a funnel or resource to give you to get to X, Y, and Z, and not offer you that resource. And so my whole point is that I want to win. I at least want to compete. even if we can't win, even if the underserved urban community, minority community, whatever you want to call it, can't literally win in the way American structure is, I at least want to compete. I don't want to get mopped. If you know what mop means, I mean, you're just not, I guess like competitive or something, but I don't want to get last placed. I don't want to get blew out. I don't want to be the last place team forever, like no points on the board. I want to win. I want to compete. All this stuff that we're creating is so we can compete. But how can we compete in our individual little groups and we don't have any infrastructure? Then we offer infrastructure and it's never good enough, or it's not trusting enough. It's like, what is? Whatever will be. And so the only way we're going to compete is that we have to start moving more wisely, more astutely, thinking more long-term. Again, what you need for your light bill, what you need for whatever, then that you got to take care of business and handle home. You got to take care of your lights. But for those who don't need light bill money right now, I think we got to start thinking long-term, because we get pissed off when we see somebody bought 40 homes in Bankhead 2 years ago and now they're selling for triple the amount, but we had the same opportunity. All we doing is being fans. We're being Monday morning quarterbacks. We're watching everybody ball out, build wealth, and then we're just quarterbacks. Or we're just Monday morning fans, and we're just ESPN watchers while they on the court. And then we're always mad that they're winning, but we don't get in the game. And so for those who are in the game with us, shout out. Let's ball out together. I'm your teammate, team captain, coach, leader, whatever you want me to be. I'll be the sub off the bench. I'll be the water boy if I got to be, as long as we win. That's real servitude. I don't care. When I'm about to go to our callers in a second. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I don't know if I have any video of this deep down in my archives, but when I first went to Baltimore and announced the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, or the concept of building Black Wall Street, in front of over 50 leaders in Baltimore in a 3-piece suit, I got on my knees, literally in front of the crowd. I literally got on my knees. 6'3" grown man got on my knees and was like, listen, y'all, I have no ego. I'm just here to serve. I just want to work. I don't come with no ego. It's not even about that. And I was just doing that to show a sign of humility, because I know we get caught up in thinking that, oh, if this person's a leader, that's going to make them the man. So what's that mean for me being the man or woman? And so we get such in a power struggle of pride and ego and self-hate and mistrust. It's like, yo, I haven't done anything that no one can't trust me. Like, I've been here. I've been in the community. I've been serving. I've been pouring in. I've been giving. Like, you don't hear nobody say nothing about me. Like, my record's legit. And so, again, somebody somewhere has to take on this responsibility. Somebody got to lead. We say, ain't no leaders. What happened to Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson? We still talking about leaders from 3 generations ago. We the leaders. Not just me, you too, all of us. We already got what we need. But we don't want to actually participate and get in the game. Like, we want to somehow magically see results without actually any action. And so the only way we're going to compete is that we have to be active and get action. And so hopefully this resonates with somebody to, like, do something different and be intentional about getting in the game, or never be the person that's Monday morning quarterback and talking about what some other community, what some other wealthy person, where somebody else is at and what they got. And you're not making a sacrifice or disciplined decisions to get to where they are. Because it takes hard work. Even as you build wealth and make money, there's plenty of things that I want to buy. There's plenty of things, cars I see that are cool, big old houses I see that are cool. I see everybody on private jets. You don't see me on private jets. I can do those things, but I have a different set of priorities, a different set of goals. It's cool. So I'm just saying, everybody got their level of priority, man. Everybody got their time. And so I just want to encourage us to be, astute in what we're doing, but it's that kind of spirit that's going to allow the Tulsa Fund to grow to a $1 billion plus fund in the next 5 years. And that's where I'm at with it. Like, so with that, we're going to take our callers for today. *6 for our callers. Live stream. You guys can ask some questions as well. Thank you all for just hearing me out. Tulsa Talk Thursday. We'll take some calls. Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, can you hear me?
I hear you. Hear you well.
All right. So I was on the, good evening, good evening. I was on the call about the, how to buy apartment buildings, a lot of great information, a lot of notes, and I have my eye on a couple of things, but I wanted to know so that it's not a waste of time, because I'm a student as well as an investor in TREF Life, me and my wife. But I want to know if there's like a checklist of something that we can have in advance when we're trying to prepare deals or something like that before we even submit them to you guys.
Gotcha. That's a great question. We don't have that checklist. We did update the application though. And so if you look at the application over the last 24 hours, it's been updated and is way more detailed. So that application is your checklist in essence. So you should be able to answer those all those questions.
Questions? Okay, I didn't answer in real quick, and then now let's move on to the next. So the 4 parts: the cash, credit, the experience, and the cash, credit, experience. And the manager or facilitator.
Yep, right? Operator, right?
Yeah. So if I have an operator, if I have 2 or 3, so for example, if I'm going to be the credit as well as the operator, and I'm going to reach out to TREF to be the experience and the cash, and it's like even not like a major deal, like under $1 million deal or something like that. Before I reach out to a bank and then have to wait to hear from underwriting, I was trying to figure out if there was something, things that I can do before I even reach out to the bank to make sure that once I reach out to the bank and you guys have your paperwork so you can vet the deal to kind of streamline the process. Does that make sense?
It does. And so what we encourage, if you're newer in investing, but you want to do a deal, with us and you want to kind of figure out how to package a deal, maybe evaluate it a little bit or just put it together. One of the best things I would recommend is either doing a half-hour, hour one-on-one consultation with us through JMA. If not, coming to one of the master minds that we're doing, or get the one-on-one coaching so we can help you from an experience perspective put that together, right? So like from a Tulsa perspective, we get so many deals, we can't help every operator or sponsor work on packaging it. But if you're really serious about it and you think you need that level of expertise and hand-holding or just whatever, a little sprinkle of sauce on it, just contact us through JMA, either through the info email or the 800 number or Instagram DM, whatever, and reach out about a consultation for us to help you package and put it together.
Okay, all right. And can I ask more questions on my mentorship calls?
Absolutely.
I'm a student as well.
Yes, sir. All day.
Okay.
Yep. All right, talk soon. Yes, sir. TREF Life, JMA all day. I do want to say before we take our next caller, for those of you who missed it, I did a webinar on Monday on how to buy apartment buildings with no cash or credit. Really good stuff. I think everyone would agree. So I want you all who want to learn the process of buying apartment buildings and learn some of the tricks of the wealthy, if you go to jay-morrison-live.com, that webinar goes away tonight at midnight Eastern time. So you guys got a few hours left to register for that webinar replay on how to buy apartment buildings cash. And then on February 9th, I'm going to be hosting a Train the Trainer event here, as well as a 6-hour intensive on real estate investing. 6 hours, I'm going through every nuts and bolt of what you do to evaluate, negotiate, analyze, package, just all that on deals, process, operations, etc. So for those who want to learn a bit of this game, I'm sharing the information. You just got to come down to Atlanta to get it, or watch it online, 6 hours, February 9th. Or tonight, again, you can register for how to buy apartment buildings cash, 2-hour webinar. That goes away at midnight. That's jay-morrison-live.com. Next caller.
Hey, hello, Jay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Peace, Kay.
Yeah, Jay. First of all, let's say thank you, Doran. I'm watching you from a distance. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I invested in tulsa-real-estate-fund.
TREF Life.
I'm a GMA student. I believe I asked this question before. I was thinking, are you expanding, especially in the area of New York, in terms of GMA?
Yeah, so
Can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you, and I want to say TREF life to you and JMA all day. We are part of our 2019 plan is to expand JMA into about 10 to 15 markets where we're going to have satellite campuses. So be on the lookout for just those communications coming out through the JMA emails and some of the social posts. But yeah, that's our plan. Is that we just reshot and brought in a new curriculum writing team. We have a brand new Jay Morrison Academy curriculum, over 36 hours of 72 new lessons on RBC, real estate, business, and credit. I believe it's some of our best educational work. Full quizzes, tests, exams, all that stuff to measure your capability in all 3 subjects. I think this will really revolutionize our communities as well. It's a really robust curriculum. And then we got some special announcements for those who are K through 12, our younger generation who need this information as well. And then we'll be coming into your cities as well through our satellite campuses. So, yep, look out for that.
Well, very, very important. One more question about it's about the easy funding. In regards to the easy funding, let's say you start a company and you get funded, but you're not really experienced in real estate. How far does the coaching really help you in terms of applying any deals or?
Yeah, so our Easy Funding program is specifically, for those who don't know, is specifically for you getting small business funding with no collateral, no security, no W-2s, no pay stubs, no employment verification, right? We get you on average $57,000 to $250,000 in your first round or first year. That's specifically for that. If you want more coaching on actually building your real estate business or just building any other business outside of real estate, that's where we offer our one-on-one professional business and real estate coaching. And you can engage with that through your Easy Funding. So you may want to use a portion of your Easy Funding business funding to hire a business coach, whether it be me or one of our associates. So that's what I would use that for, to then make the right moves into getting into your deals, et cetera.
Okay. So the payment for $3,000, the Easy Funding, is only to get the fund. But if you need business coaching, then that would be something else.
That's additional, yep.
To get a business consultant.
Additional service, yep.
All right, Jay. I mean, keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, I've watched you from afar, and I can't wait for you to have an office, hopefully, in Brooklyn or anywhere in New York City.
Yes, sir.
So keep doing what you're doing.
Salute. Thank you. Absolutely. We'll go to any other questions we got. Thank you all for all the love, all support.
The queue is clear on this thinking.
Okay, wonderful. I just had, yellow. Okay, so I just had, as we wrap, I'm not going to hold this, but our New Jersey deal, which we invested about $439,000 roughly, that ARV appraised for $525,000. That deal we plan to be in for about 6 months, maybe a little more. But that deal brings in a 16%, 16.9%, 16.6% ROI, a 19.6% ROI. It's late, I'm sorry, and a 44% IRR if we exit that deal in 6 months. This is a bi-level, which is 5-bedroom, 2-bath that we purchased through a distressed seller, and we're just renovating it and flipping it just to bring some money in for the fund, right? And then we have our 14 unit I went and saw this last weekend in Lake Charles, Louisiana. That deal, we have a partnership with a minority, female, African in America, woman developer. And we're partnered with her and invested, our total investment will be about $473,000 or so. That property appraised for about $825,000 after repair value. And so we're looking at expected return based on our partnership with her of about 33.5% ROI. And if it takes 2 years for us to exit this deal, we're looking at about a 14% IRR, internal rate of return. And then our Legacy Center, they gave me this big spreadsheet, which I'm not going to be able to totally decipher for us right away. I'll get you the numbers, but Again, I know our Legacy Center is at about a 15% plus on the conservative level ROI as well. I think it may be like 14 point change in IRR. But you know, we're working hard, and again, I have some other deals we hopefully will announce soon that are in underwriting. And our goal is to be the best capital partners we can be for community redevelopment. So your job and our job as partners is to raise as much capital as we can raise into our fund so we can deploy more capital into our community. It's real simple. Like, it's not like we're raising the capital and it's just like, you know, in a church collection plate, it's just in somebody's GoFundMe. It's just, no, we're raising the capital to specifically deploy it back into the community through strategic partnerships. That's it. That's what we do.
Billy Ray asked quickly, can you just explain the difference between ROI and IRR?
Yeah, so ROI just looks at the investment as a whole. So Billy asked, what's the difference between ROI and IRR? ROI looks at your return on investment as a whole. And then IRR looks at the actual internal rate of return specific to the time amount you've had that investment. So where ROI will look at, okay, you invested at, you know, a certain amount and you made a certain amount, and this is just your ROI on that amount, period, just holistically, whether it took 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you invested this much, you made this much, this is your ROI. IRR looks at, well, what was your actual prorated rate per year of you having this investment? It's a really complicated formula. You can Google it. I have like an app for it. But that's the core definition-wise difference. Any other questions?
King, we actually have 2 callers that hopped in the queue.
Sure thing. Two callers. Caller 1. Drinking my J&M water. Yes, sir.
Hey, how's it going, man? This is Don. I'm out of Milwaukee. First off, I want to tell you I appreciate what you're doing, and I'm positioning myself to invest and prepare credit. I love the fact that you're doing everything for the community, so I appreciate you on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And what happens after you guys close out the fund? You said later this year, once you meet your maximum, you guys are closing out. Is that then you guys will open up another venture, or like what happens after you guys meet your max?
Yeah, our goal is to have a fund franchise, if you will, a series of funds that all can service our mission. And so what I think folks are missing, King, what's your name again? I'm sorry.
Don.
King Don.
Or that actual, thanks.
Yeah, what I think everyone's missing, and I was talking about it with a really smart guy the other day in my office, is that I'm not even like excited, so to speak, or like really pumped up about this one fund. It's not even about this fund. Everybody missing the big picture. The big picture is the model. The picture is the system. The picture is the infrastructure. The picture is the operations. The picture is that we've proven, even at this small little level, we've proven that we can pull our dollars together in a sophisticated way, in a regulated way, in a way that's transparent, that has systems, procedures, process, protocol, and controls, and that we can do it as a community. So now if we can do it once, we can do it 1,000,000 times. We haven't had that kind of infrastructure. And so as we close out Fund 1 and perfect Fund 1, obviously we continue to invest in that fund and perform and produce in that fund, but then we have some other strategic plays in regards to the next funds and opportunities that we will also be rolling out kind of in tandem or in collaboration for this, you know, in this economic vehicle. So yeah, we're not stopping. The work is not done until we're all repaired, until we've made an impact in bridging this wealth gap and uplifting our community and underserved and disenfranchised communities. But what we all should be excited about is, hey, there's a model out here. There's a system. There's a business model that can work for us. And that should be the super exciting part.
And that is, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, King. Peace.
Peace.
And we'll go to our last caller real quick. You still there? Caller.
Hi, caller 313, you're live.
That's Detroit.
All right, while they're figuring that out, somebody asked, can you comment on jmaoffice.com?
jmaoffice.com is...
Hello, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Michael Bay here. I got a good question for you. And first of all, I appreciate what you're doing. I think you're doing a real good thing.
Thank you, King.
Does JMA,
Mm-hmm.
Easy Funding, and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund have any type of referral program?
Yes. JMA has a referral or affiliate program. I believe it's on the site, or you can email us info@jay-morrison-academy.com if you don't see it there. I believe it's there. Same as Easy Funding. There is a referral program. Tulsa, we do not because of regulations and compliance. We're trying to figure out how we can incentivize folks to, refer people, but we can't pay like a broker's fee or commission just because of compliance issues. And that was a really good question. Thank you, King. And to the person who asked about JMA office, so, again, we're just always trying to just bridge this damn gap and create resources. And so one of our partners here at the Academy found a resource for us and helped create a resource where we can offer opportunity for you to find motivated sellers, motivated buyers, leads on properties, and other resources to help your real estate development businesses. It's called jmaoffice.com. And so we give like a 7-day free trial for you to test it out. But it's just another resource, a way for you guys to be able to improve your businesses, those who are investing in real estate actively and just looking for other, kind of resources and systems that work. And so just another one that we offer. We have, again, for those who need credit services, go to jay-morrison-academy.com. We have credit services, business funding services. We can delete inquiries on your credit, help you with trade lines. We can do all types of whatever, all that. And obviously, for passive real estate investing and business ownership, you can invest with us starting at $500. Partner with us. I like to say better than invest with us. I want everyone to understand you're a partner, you're an owner, not just like, hey, you know what, they're cool, I'll invest. No. They're cool, I'm going to partner. I love the mission, I want to partner. I want to be a part of the movement. And so you have an opportunity to do that starting at $500. We encourage those who can to invest at least $1,000 because my goal is to get at least 50,000 of us to invest $1,000, raise our first 50 million, and we going to perform. Like, that's it. I signed up for it. My name's on it, my face is on it, my hand to God, my heart, hand over my heart, my black fist in the air, everything you can think of. We have to make this model work because it means so much for all disenfranchised people throughout the globe to be able to show them that a fund that was founded by the most disenfranchised community in America, the black community, a fund started by a non-college educated black man who, I would say black women are the most underserved and disrespected, unfortunately, and unprotected species in America, if not the world. But black men are probably the most hunted in America. And for me to be a black man from a disenfranchised community and environment and to be able to create this fund where we can control our own economic destiny, this is an example and a beacon of hope for all disenfranchised people of all religions, races, colors, ethnicities throughout the world of what you can do if you participate in community economics, cooperative economics, and group economics, and just get off your BS, get off your hide horse, get off your pride horse, get off your ego horse, get off your self-hate horse, get off your mistrust horse, get off your Monday morning quarterback horse, and just get in the game and participate. This is what it could look like. We're not done yet. We just started, just 7 months old. But I'm looking forward to the rest of this journey, and it's allowing us to be trailblazers and pioneers. And it's just not me. Every single one of you who partner with us is a trailblazer. You're a pioneer. You're a part of this history. And I believe that there's going to be many communities, many countries, many organizations, and many people who are going to benefit from the work that we lay down today. And hopefully they pay homage. If they don't, we still know what it is. And it's still great work. It's still service. And that's what, just what I believe in. So.
Two quick questions.
Yes, sir.
Kate Cola says she's new here. Can you explain our investment? If our investment is just an investment, or are we also responsible for finding properties? And then somebody else asked, how long is the investment locked up?
Gotcha.
So can we just get a...
So is the investment the investment or the partnership is a passive partnership. So you're not responsible for finding properties as an investor or partner. Although if you have deals or opportunities, please submit them at tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. If you're someone out there who has inherited property, you own property, you know distressed property, you have a development opportunity, syndication, subdivision, new construction, fix and flip, whatever, that you've evaluated and you have an operator attached to it, because we don't want to necessarily be the operators and developers on these projects. We want to be the capital partner. And so if you have those opportunities, please submit them, tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. But for those who partner and invest with us, you do not have to do any other work, really. I mean, have to per se. We want you to promote, we want you to market, we want you to speak highly of us, we want you to bring in your friends and family, but you don't have to do anything else other than that as a passive investment. You do receive an 8% preferred return. You do get 50% of the profits over those returns. And I think that people are missing that. You know, folks say, well, what's 8% on $500? Because right, you start your investment in partnership for $500. 8% is $40, which is a whopping $40, because if that $500 were parked in a checking account, in a CD, in a mutual fund, in a bank, and many other institutions, you likely wouldn't even be seeing $40 on it. So you can't say, I've seen people on other posts or comments say, man, $40 ain't nothing on 500, but 0.001% or 50 cents is nothing on 500. I think it's even 5 cents, not even 50. So my point is, we have to look at the opportunity cost and compare apples to apples. So it's like, what are you getting on that 500 anyway, right? Not to mention that in real estate, if you buy right, especially with these development opportunities and apartment buildings and this office space and opportunity zones and everything else, if you buy right, there's a great chance for future appreciation. And not only do you get 8% interest off the total revenue and cash flow, you also get 50% of the profits of that revenue and cash flow, as well as the profits on any future appreciation. So if we buy a building today for $5 million and we sell it down the line for $8 million, and after you got your 8% preferred return off the rentals, and now we got a $3 million profit, our investors split that 1.5% or 50% of those profits on top of their 8%. And that's just one investment, not to mention the other profits from all the investments in the fund, right? And so when you enter our fund as a partner, you own, as an equity owner, interest, your prorated share of interest, meaning based on your shares and all the shares in the fund, you own your shares of all the assets in our portfolio. And to the lockout question, your investment, your partnership investment is held, it's a lockup for 1 year before you can retrieve that investment. And after that 1 year, we pay dividends out quarterly per our liquidity, meaning that if the investments are all, or investment dollars are all tied up into projects that are being redeveloped or, stabilized, we can't pay out dividends on capital that's currently parked in assets, right? But once that capital comes out of those assets, your investment dividends is still being accrued and added up, basically, right? For you to get everything that you should have accrued during that year or 15-month period. So the clock doesn't stop ticking, your investment amount doesn't add up, and we pay out as we're liquid and profitable in these investments, but you're owning all the way, all the time, all the way through.
Rashawn asked a follow-up question. Does the 12-month lock period start every time you invest an additional $500?
My easy answer is I believe so. I believe each investment is specifically looked at not per person, but per when you invest it technically. So yes, and great question, Queen. So I appreciate you guys just being engaged, having questions, being interested, but just think about where are our other realistic economic solutions at? Like, what else we gonna do? And not saying to say that this is not even a great model, like, oh, just do this bad thing. No, I'm just saying, like, what else are we doing to win? What else are we doing to not just to compete, to possibly dominate, to make a comeback? Like, what else are we doing to have legitimate, not blog talk, YouTube talk? Like, these guys can easily put a camera up or MacBook and talk to the screen and have the little tight fitted hats on or whatever and, you know, make statements and do all that. Like, talking is easy. But if you go in my office right now and you see the 8 sections of businesses, and in each section, multiple businesses, hey, bro, you in there? I am. Count how many businesses we have in there, please. The big ones, not even the little ones, the big ones. Yep. And my brother Arthur's in there. I'm going to tell you how many businesses. When you see the level and the amount of businesses, of infrastructure, of people that we employ, of families that we help feed, of operations that we operate, we manage, we function, that we market, that we have financial controls for, and process for, and that we build, and new opportunities on the horizon, and all that, man, like, that's work. And that's what I'm saying, like, what you have and who you have it for. How many? 17. So,
17 technically, if you include the ones that we're launching, we plan to launch within the next year.
So 17 active businesses and 2 that are on the horizon to launch this year. So 19 businesses that we are not talking, not blogging, not theorizing, not hoping, not Monday morning quarterbacking, but we're in the game on. And so I'm saying that to say is that that's how it's how I beat poverty, it's how I beat the streets, it's how I beat the corporate trap, it's how I beat the college trap, is that and this is a personal message and a community message, you gotta get busy. You gotta get active. And all the talking for likes and views and all that's cool. I got a big social media following, but guess what? I go do the work. I have a big following. I can get millions of views. We got a Facebook video with 30, 40 million views. Cool, great. I got 40 million views on a Facebook video. Wow, great. But I didn't put that much money in my pocket. But these 17 businesses we got, and these 17 businesses are not including the multiple companies that hold the real estate assets that we own privately and throughout the fund. So I'm not even talking about the SPEs, special purpose entities, or the sub-businesses of the businesses. I'm talking about the big businesses, not even the subsidiary companies under the companies. And so when you talk about active and getting to work and producing and performing in like legitimate, tangible, what's real, we live in what's real. These buildings we got, that black house we painted, this building that's being renovated, this is real. And so we have a real opportunity in our real life to do something super substantial. So as you are talking about Tulsa, you're debating it, you're looking at naysayers and commentary, etc., just look at what's real. What can you touch? Now, I ain't talking about a keypad to press play. No, what can you touch? What can you feel? So you can ride by 3015th or North Martin Street and go see that black house and that black gate and see the work that's being done. You can see our 14 unit in Lake Charles. You can see 3355 Lenox Road. You can see our headquarters in Buckhead. This is real business. Not for show, not Instagram, YouTube business, not home office. Not saying that's not real, because you can make a lot of money at your home office, but this is enterprise right here. And we're not done yet. I'm talking about us being a part of a $1 billion business together. Big B. We don't need, I invite pension funds. I invite family offices. I invite institutional investors. But guess what? I feel like we don't need them. If they want to participate, participate. But we, the people, do not need them to hit a big B, a Billy. And with $1 billion of capital that we manage and can deploy for our community redevelopment, that gentrification talk gets less and less and less. We can compete against gentrification because we have the capital to, we have the experience, the expertise to, the astuteness. We got the skills. We're not no homeboy hustlers. We are business professionals, businessmen and women. We got the talent. God gave us everything we need. All we got to do is utilize it. And that's my last rap, last vote, last voice for Tulsa Talk Thursday. I'll see you guys next Thursday, every Thursday. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. Please follow the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and share this, guys. Let's get this viral as always. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.